Hi everyone, and welcome to the Stark Museum of Art studio virtually. I'm Christy Ellis and I'm a teaching artist here at the museum. Today we're going to do an activity called Sketch Club, and I'm going to do a quick sketch idea and show you how to do it. Alright guys, this is the project we'll be working on today, and it's a basic bear, and he's going to have on a cute little shirt that's got all kind of patterns and designs. We're going to learn about lines, patterns, designs, textures. Let's get started. Before we dive into our drawing, I want to show you the artwork that inspired this project. This is Oblivious by Dan Ostermiller. It is a bronze sculpture that is installed outside the Stark Museum of Art. Let's take a closer look at this sculpture. Notice how large it is. The artist uses strong contour lines to help us clearly see the shape of the bear. Notice the round curves in the bear's body, especially around his arms, legs, and stomach. We can also see lots of texture on this bear. What do you think the artist is trying to show us? The bear's fur. So now that you've had a closer look, let's head back to the studio and get started on our sketch. You just need your sheet of paper, and you will draw with a pencil, but so it's easier for you to see, I'm going to use this marker. And we're going to start by drawing a big round circle. And that's going to be his head. We're going to draw two smaller circles for ears. And we will draw a big circle, more like a medium size, down at the bottom. This is where his mouth and nose belong. More circles for his eyes. And we can draw smaller circles inside. This will be his pupils. You can color those in if you like now, or we can color them later. We're going to give him a little upside down triangle nose and a little mouth. You just pull it down and curve up. It's kind of like a letter W. Now, one more thing we need to add. Lines that go from the center of his ear, around his eye, and down the middle of his nose. And we'll do the same thing on the other side, around his eye, towards the middle of his ear. And so now you see we have different sections to our bear. We'll give him some shoulders, just like this. And there you go. We're ready for the next step. So now we're going to start adding contour lines. Contour lines curve in the way that the outside edges go. So a contour line would curve like this. And I want you to make your contour lines about as thick as your pinky finger. We don't want them too wide and we don't want them too tiny small. So about the width of maybe a pencil or your pinky finger. We'll do the same over here. And we're going to do his forehead. And they're just lines, but you see they have a little bit of a curve, just like the curve on the outside of his head. That's what makes a contour line. It curves just like the outside edge. Now we're going to draw contour lines on one of the sides. Contour lines are also the way his fur is going to grow. So it's important that they're curved in different directions because hair grows in different directions. So he's going to have a contour line right there. And I'm just going to continue these all the way up. And he's also going to have one below, and I will continue these all the way down. And keep going until you get to the bottom of this section, and then you're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. All right, let's finish that and come right back. Okay, he's looking pretty nice. We are now going to add just a very few contour lines in this circular area, his snout. But we want it to be a little bit lighter than the rest of the picture. So we won't put quite as many contour lines. I'll probably just go around 2 or 3 times and that'll be enough. Now let's color the nose, color the eye, and then we'll start making fur. Okay, so we talked about earlier that fur or hair grows in different directions. The hair on top of his head is going to stick up. So we're just going to make little short marks. And don't be afraid that they run out of lines, because that's just going to make him look a little bit more furry and soft. So we're going to do this all the way across this section, and we'll go down to the next row. And we'll just continue drawing these little marks. Now, I'm going to stop right here, but you're going to go ahead and finish this section. Then when we get over to the ears, notice these contour lines are curved a different direction. So the fur is going to go a different direction. These went up and down. These are sticking out. Okay, let's finish putting fur all over the face and on both ears and come back. Okay guys, we've got fur all over our little bear. Remember, he's got some hair that hangs down, some that sticks out, some that sticks up. Now you'll also notice in some areas it looks a little darker. This ear looks a little darker than this one. That's because I put more marks or more lines on this ear. So if you want it to look darker in certain places, you can see right down here it's a little darker. I'm going to add more to make that stand out even more. But I really want inside his little ear, where he listens, I want that to be a little darker, so I'm going to add a few more lines right in the middle. Right here in the little hole, so he's a really good listener. And I'm going to add some more lines on this area between his eyes and up on his forehead, just so it's a little bit darker than all the rest. Now, his little nose is lighter than all the rest, so we're not going to put as many marks. We're actually just going to put a teeny tiny bit, but they also are going to go around the circle and point in different directions. Now I'm going to do the next layer, but it's going to have a little bit more lines than this one. So he's got some fur on his snout, but not as much as he has on his furry little body. Okay, pretty great to me, but I think he's pretty cold. We are going to make him a shirt or a sweater. We're going to use contour lines again to design our sweater because our sweater is going to have patterns and designs using shapes. So again, just like we did up here, we're going to draw contour lines and which go around like this. You can space these out a little bigger than we did for his body because we're going to draw, yikes, shapes inside here. Okay, so we've got a few contour lines, space it out pretty big, and now we're going to create patterns. And you can create a pattern by repeating something. We're focused on shapes. So I'm going to start with triangles. You can draw them, color them in. I'm just going to draw mine and show you, and we can color them in a little bit later. So I've got 3 triangles. 2 circles. And what is going to make it a pattern is I'm going to repeat 3 triangles, 2 circles until I get all the way across this piece of paper. So there's 1, 2, 3 triangles, and now we're going to repeat 2 circles. This creates a pattern. And you can continue decorating your bear. You can start a different pattern on the next row, or you can repeat this pattern up above, or you can skip a space and do your design. You also can use different colors, the same design but different colors on the next row. That's totally up to you. Colors can create patterns also, like pink, pink, blue, red, red, yellow. Anything that you repeat is going to be a pattern. So we're going to finish designing his sweater and coloring your nice shapes. All right, guys, I've finished coloring these 2 lines with colorful patterns, but I want to show you for a minute how interesting you can make his shirt even if you don't have colored markers or colors available. Even with your black and white, you can make some really neat designs. I'm going to repeat the pattern that we already have up in the next section, but I'm just going to color them in black. You could draw a totally different design, but I'm going to draw exactly what we have. Okay guys, I've colored in my black shapes, and I've got a really nice patterned sweater any bear would be proud to wear. So, I want to kind of recap what we've done today. You guys learned about patterns, shapes. We learned about textures. You learned about contour lines. Most importantly, they curve and show the different areas of a body. All right, guys, that's it for our project. I hope you enjoyed also looking at Dan Ostermiller's sculpture of bears out front of our museum. It's got beautiful contour lines, beautiful round curves, and he has a really furry looking texture. So, keep making art. See you soon.